Back in my days at JPMorgan, formatting wasn't just about looking good, it was about getting your model noticed and trusted. In this video, I'll show you the exact formatting techniques that can elevate your financial model to the next level. Let's get started. Hello friends, so let's get started with this financial modeling formatting tutorial. Okay, and here we have in front of us a typical financial model. It has various tabs, right? The income statement, balance sheets, cash flows, etc. So though those are not important, I just want you to see the income statement as of now. Okay, income statement, when you look at, you will probably realize that there is something amiss here. Okay, you see that all the numbers here are in percentage terms, right? And let's say, for argument's sake, that you have sent this model to your client, and client can be an institutional client, a portfolio manager, or someone, and they are going to take a decision based on your financial model. Do you think will they be impressed by what they see here? Obviously, this is a shoddy job. They will absolutely be devastated by looking at the quality of the model, and therefore you as a equity analyst or you as an analyst, you have to ensure that whatever you are sending to the client is actually professional. And in this tutorial, we'll see how to go about it. So this is a very unprofessional way of looking at it. Now we'll convert this into a professional looking financial model. Okay, so I'll limit this discussion only to the income statement, but the same thing you can apply on the other tabs as well. Okay, so let's get started here. First thing first, what do you note? You're noting here that these are all in percentages, and there's a lot of space between what is written here and these numbers. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just quickly move this to the left hand side, right? So that whatever numbers are written next to these should be closely aligned. Okay, so that's the first thing that we can do. Next is obviously percentage numbers for the revenue is unacceptable, so we have to convert this into actual numbers. Okay, so in order to do that, what we can do is we can select all the numbers, okay, from maybe top to bottom, let's say until the net income, and let's go to home. And what I want you to look at is this accounting comma style. Okay, click this, and what you will see is that the formatting of these numbers are taking a bit better shape, right? So here you can see that there are two decimals for each of these numbers, but usually what happens is that we take one decimal as a final output. So if two decimals are not needed, like in this case, there's no point in suggesting 12718.90. It's not adding value, right? So we can basically reduce this by one more decimal to make it a bit more neater. Okay, so that's one thing that you can obviously do. When you scroll down, you'll realize that there are other numbers also that demand your attention. So again, these are all in percentage. So what we can do is, we can just quickly select all of these, all right? And this time, what I want you to do is basically press F4. What does F4 does? F4 does what you have done in the previous step. In the previous step, what did we do? We changed the format, right? So if I pressing F4 this time, what happens? It changes the format of all the selected cells, right? So here, this is what you can do for all the items. Okay. Now, once you have done this and changed it to the decimals, obviously there are places where we would need percentage, like for example EBITDA margin. A margin is always expressed in percentage terms. Likewise, you can see this restaurant EBIT margin. Likewise, we have done vertical analysis. So in vertical analysis, we are comparing each and every line item with the revenues. So in percentage terms, we want to see how it works. So in those cases, obviously, we'll have to convert these into percentage. So what we do is we select all these, okay, and go to home and select percentage. And in this case, maybe you want to have one decimal place here as well. Okay. So now that you have done this percentage formatting for EBITDA margin, you can do the same for others as well, right? By selecting this and pressing what? Pressing F4. Okay. So it's as simple as this. Let's continue to do this for the others as well, other margins. And we can also do the same for the vertical analysis. So what I'll do is now I'll select all these top to bottom and press F4. Okay, so as you can see now this model is looking slightly better than what it was earlier. Okay, now coming to the next important thing, when it is about financial modeling, there are two different parts, clear bifurcation to it. One is basically the historicals and the other one is the forecast. Now when we look at this, it doesn't look like these are the historicals and these are the forecasts. Okay, so what you can do here is that you can select all these from 2017 to 2021, assuming that 2022 onwards, you've done the forecast. Okay. So here you can select all this, right? And then go to home, merge and center. Okay. Merge and center. When you do that, you can see that, okay, there is a line that comes below this and it clearly demarcates what years are historical years, right? And you can do the same for the forecast as well. How can you do that? Simply by pressing F4. You can just repeat the previous command, or if you want a shortcut, you can use Alt H, okay, Alt H, and then M for merge, and then center C, okay. So when we do that, you can see that, okay, now the model is divided into two important parts, historicals, as we can see here, and then we have the forecast, okay. So far, so good, right? Now, another thing to note here is that the years are expressed in decimals 2017.00. Obviously, it's not making any sense. So, when it comes to years, we usually mention it like fiscal year 2017, right? Like that, we typically mention. So, the way you can handle this situation is that you can select all these numbers like the years from 2017 to let's say 2026. Now do the right click, go to format cells, okay, and go to customs here. And on the top, you will have this thing called as general, okay. So in this case, what you need to write is inverted commas, write FY inverted commas closed and write 0. Okay, so what will happen is your format will convert into fiscal year 2017, something like this. Okay, so let me press OK and then you can see how it goes. Okay, so now this is taking a format of the years, right? So it's very intuitive if you follow this thing. The next important aspect to the financial model is that it has to be visually intuitive, meaning that when it comes to these numbers here for historicals, right, these historical numbers are available to you compared to what we talk about forecast. These forecasts are basically the ones that you are doing as forecast. So there should be a way to separate what are the actual numbers and what are the forecast numbers, right? So what we do is we typically follow some type of color coding when it comes to financial modeling. So here, the way we look at is that when it comes to constants, okay, or you can call that as actuals, these are color coded as blue, okay. So blue like this type of blue, or maybe any type of blue that you can use, but the idea here is that all the constants should be color coded as blue, okay. So that's what we will do here. We'll select all these, all right, and color code these as blue. Okay. So now when I'm looking at these numbers, obviously I know that these are actual numbers. So for the client, it is super easy for them to understand now because they can easily see that, okay, these are forecast and the others are constant, the ones which are in blue. Okay. Now you can do the same for all the other numbers as well, right? Like this, you can continue to press F4 and do that. But sometimes what happens is that, let's say if you forgot doing these color coding at the start of creating the financial model, and you have created a very complex model, and then you're trying to identify which one of them are constant and which one of them are formulas, right, or forecasts. So it will become very difficult for you. So here there is this easy approach where we can easily identify all the constants that are used in the financial model. And the way we do it is that you just have to select the full sheet here like this, okay, or press Ctrl A and then press F5. Okay, you need to press F5 after selecting this. So I'm pressing F5. What happens is that it's opening the go to window. So basically we want this to go to somewhere, and then I want you to click here as special and click on constants, right? I want to identify all the constants in the sheet, and the constants which are numbers, not text, not logicals, not errors, only the numbers. Okay, so that's what I want it to do, and then I want you to press OK. So as you can see, what's happening here is that when I'm using this go to command, all the constants which are used are highlighted like this, and at one go we can just go about color coding them in blue, like the way we wanted it to be. Now just do a quick check and you can see that all the constants have been in blue, but this was also color coded in blue, right? So sometimes you have to do that manual check once in a while to ensure that your model is behaving accurately. Now the second important aspect of color coding is that when it comes to the formulas, right? The formulas like the way we are using it here. Okay, all of these formulas especially are color coded as black. Okay, so let me write that here. Formulas are basically black in color. So default is black, that's fine. So therefore you don't have to do much here. But in case of a certain set of formulas, you might want to highlight them, right? Like the way it is, making it bold. So that's what is done here. So whenever I am seeing black in color, that's basically the formulas. Okay, so that's another interesting aspect of financial modeling that you need to understand. Now the third important aspect of financial model is that when it comes to formulas or links that are coming from different sheets, like for example this forecast. Okay, what do we see here? The forecast is actually coming from another sheet, that is this revenue built up sheet, right? So in this case we follow a different color coding, and the reason is that we want to separate constants, formulas, and the ones which are linked from different sheets. If they're linked from the same sheet, they will be black in color, but from a different sheet, like the way it is right now here, we will color code them in green. Okay, so the way we can do is that identify these and color code them, maybe something like this, in green. Okay, so that's the idea. Now you may be wondering that how we can identify all of these links which are coming from the different tabs, right? So here they were coming from revenue tabs, some of them will be coming from the cost sheet, right? So if this is a manual approach, again it will take a lot of time. So you don't want to do that, right? You want to just completely do it with a shortcut kind of method. So the way we do it is that, there is this formula called as control and tilde. Okay, so I want you to try this if you're using Windows and see what happens on your screen. I'm pressing control and tilde. So the way I'm doing it, you can see that the formulas which were there inside the cells have opened up, right? Like a book, you have opened it, right? So you can now see what's there inside the cell. Okay, so I can see that these are the formulas, and I want you to scroll on the right hand side, right? Now if you see on the right hand side, you can see this, right? That these are links coming from other sheet. This is a formula. Likewise, these are other sheets. This is the formula, right? So with this we can easily select all the ones which are coming from the other sheet, and just color code them, right? Like the way we usually do. Once you have done it for one, you just need to select and press F4, and that's what I am doing right now, selecting these, pressing F4, and likewise for this one, and here as well, F4. So visually you have to do it, but again, since this is much easier than doing it manually one by one, so that's why I'm encouraging you to look at this approach. Okay, so here F4. Okay, all the items which are coming from other sheet have to be something like this in green color. So with this, I think we are done. Now we have to go back, right? Because we don't want our Excel sheet to look like this. So what you need to do is again press Control and tilde. That tilde is actually below the escape button if you're using Windows. Okay, so Control and tilde. And when I do it, you can see that your model comes back to the form which it was originally, right? So You can see that this is now blue color, green color coding means that, okay, it's coming from other sheet. Now, the last thing which I want to highlight here is that sometimes one of the columns might get missed in terms of formatting. Okay, so here we see the 2026, the formatting got missed. It still shows percentage. Okay, so the easiest way to look at it is that look at 2025. It's completely formatted, right? So why not copy the format from here and paste it here? Okay, so it's super easy. We can just select the full column like the way I am doing from top to bottom. Okay, and you have two options of doing that. You can either go to home, there's a format painter. Okay, just click on this and then just paste it from the first cell itself. Okay, so I'm doing that right now, and what do you see? That the full format from top to bottom gets copied and pasted. So this is how you can, easily do that. The other approach is that you can actually copy this format. Like, I'm selecting all of this, okay, from top to bottom. I'll press Control C. So this is basically I'm copying, but I want to copy only the format and paste the format. Okay, so now I want to paste the format from top to bottom like this. So for that, I'll select it from top to bottom here. Then what I'll do is I'll press Alt E S. Okay, so this will open the paste special window. And you can see this paste special has different options here, including formulas, values, but the one which we are interested in is formats. Okay, just select formats and press OK. And you would see that the formats get copied. Okay, so this is again super easy for us to do. So as you can see here, the model that we started off with and the model which we are seeing now are two different models. This one looks much more professional, and that's why formatting in financial modeling is super important. And if you're interested in learning financial modeling and how to format this professionally, I have two most important resources for you. So those are, first is, go to this website wallstreetmojo.com, which we have created with so much of love. Here you will find all the resources that you need in order to learn and master financial modeling. So say for example, in this tutorial on financial modeling in Excel, we have started by downloading Colgate's annual report, and then we started creating this financial model of Colgate step by step, like the way we have done in professionally in our classes as well. So you can learn that for free and download the template and do that on your own. And on the left hand side, if you see, there are all the things which are necessary, like even we have the IPO models for you to download and look at, right? And you can learn a lot from these models as well. So a lot of resources on Wall Street Mojo. I do recommend that you have a look at it, and I'm pretty sure that you will enjoy all of them. The second is that we offer financial modeling courses as well. So here you have various options to learn financial modeling professionally. So there are two ways. First is either you can opt for the self-study courses where we have created financial model from scratch for companies like McDonald's and all. And you can follow the tutorial and create a step-by-step financial model. It's a very, very interesting and a thorough course altogether. Second one is that you opt for something like an immersive program where we help you step by step to create financial model, and this is also delivered via live classes. So the idea here is that you learn few things, you attend the live class, and then you basically do a lot of stuff by learning more, and then you create a project. For example, we expect you to create a financial model on Netflix and submit to us, and then it's basically reviewed by us. So there are different ways. First, self-study, as I said, then live classes, then there's a full immersive program, which I was talking about, where you can get a 2-month intensive program on how to go about financial modeling and get your financial model reviewed as well. So I can definitely help you with that. So I would highly recommend, if you want to jumpstart your financial modeling, trainings, this is a go-to resource to have a look at. And if you like this tutorial on formatting of financial model, please do like and subscribe because it helps us a lot. It keeps us motivated, as well as you will receive a notification when we publish another video tutorial. So I plan to create a full series on financial modeling and put that on YouTube step by step. So please do subscribe, and until then, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.